All right, welcome back to another episode of Spin That Wax. It
That's
is
all.
February 1st, so we are starting with some new genre of music this month, and it's going to be a good one. It has potential to be a wide range of music, so this is going to be fun. How you guys doing?
I'm doing
What's
great.
going on? Fantastic. How you doing, Zach?
Peachy keen, as they say.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Perfect.
Well, all right. Well, this is we decided on what did we decide on? Ballads this month?
Yes,
Love
sir.
songs, ballads. So ballads can have a wide range. It could be love songs. It could not be love songs. It could be all sorts of things. What is the definition of ballad? It needs to tell a story. I believe.
I believe
But,
yes. A romantic story.
Yeah.
More often than not, yes.
So there we go. It's going to be fun to see what we choose. And
Yes.
this week, Zach is first. So let's see if we can't get Zach over here. I'll click your buttons real quick. And there we go. Hello, Zach.
Hello, world. Yes. But like we were discussing backstage, I picked an album, but predominantly for one song. We're going to go back to 1988, the number 2 album of this band, Cheap Trick,
Ooh.
Lap of Luxury, simply because on this album, let's see if we can get it there, wherever it is, The Flame.
Yes.
Which was their ballad and also their only number 1 U.S. single was The Flame.
Oh, wow.
Oddly enough. So, and I saw that, I was like, oh my God, I remember that. And that is, I think, maybe one of the only ballads they actually did. Then we got the sleeve in pretty decent shape.
Yeah,
Nice.
actually it is.
And then here we go. Oop, there it is.
Nice. Love the label.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
it is in really nice shape.
It is. That's great. Look at that.
I think
It's on
it was-
Epic.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. They're the first 2 Cheap Trick records are dope, man. Like, and then Budokan. Like, if you live at the Budokan, what can you say? Cheap Trick's awesome.
Right.
They
I
had a lot
saw
of
that
good songs.
once, eons ago. Cheap
I
Trick,
believe-
Def Leppard, and Poison. It was a heck of a show.
I was going to say,
Heck
that's
yeah.
quite the trio.
That was a heck of a show.
If I remember correctly, one of the times Metallica came through here, Cheap Trick opened for them as well.
Really?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was a little bit young at the time, so I wasn't able to partake in that scene. But yeah, I think it was 85, 84, 85, so around there.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's a cool pick. That's a good pick.
That's a great
Yeah.
pick, my friend.
You know, and that, like I say, I think that may have been their only technical ballad that they ever did. Or if not,
Yes.
at least the first.
Now, I Want You to Want Me was pretty big too, but I don't know if that's really considered a ballad so much as just a regular rock song. But
And I'm also shocked that never hit that didn't hit number 1. I think it's probably their most popular song, yet the only number 1 they had was The Flame.
that's right.
Crazy.
Yeah. Odd, eh?
It's just
Yeah, that's
very
the number
weird.
one song that comes to mind when I think of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
odd,
the one
dude.
song everybody thinks of when you mention Cheap Trick.
Right.
I'm a big fan of that band, and dude, that's a solid choice. Opening up the show, wow, that's a solid choice.
We're going to start February off right, folks.
That's right.
That's what
I'm with you.
Bang. All right. Well, Maiden, did you want to go next?
I got the nod. Put me in, coach.
Go ahead.
he's ready for the
Yeah.
show.
All right, so we're gonna go with my original pick, but my random pick is somewhat close related to this one. But I chose. This was released in 1976, and it was released as a single, as you can tell. And this is on the Casablanca Oasis label, so you can
There you
see
go.
it's got the Casbah from Morocco there, the right by my mouth. Ooh.
Yeah.
There we go. It's better. Looking at you. That's odd and weird. And this was actually Kiss's biggest charting hit. And this actually was number 7 in the top 100 Billboard. And actually, this was originally a song called Beck, short for Becky. And it was written by Peter Criss and Stan Penridge, and they were in a band called Chelsea. So when they were recording Destroyer, this is from the Destroyer record, this came out in '76. Bob Ezrin, who was the producer, he said to Peter Criss, "Do you have any music to contribute to the record?" It's Peter Criss's contributions to those Kiss records were generally one song. There wasn't a whole lot. And he said, "Yeah, I do. It's an old song about the girl named Beck. Beck, I can hear you calling, but I can't come home right now." Da, 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 da. So Bob Ezrin actually took it, changed the name to Beth. Sonically, it sounded better. And then he actually played the piano, and Peter Criss did the vocal, and the New York Philharmonic actually backed it up.
Nice.
Which is really cool. So here's the funny thing. This was released as the first single. Do you know what the B-side of the single was?
No.
Detroit, Rockford City.
Oh, nice.
And that graphed by Mr. Eric Singer, the last drummer of Kiss. And I got to meet Eric Singer when he was on tour with Alice Cooper.
Pretty cool.
We did a little Kiss
That's
X,
awesome.
and he showed up and he signed this and Kiss Alive 3 and also signed the jacket.
That's awesome.
And he said, "You don't mind if I write on the vinyl?" I'm like, "No, I have 5 of these." Like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, seriously. Just write on it. Write all over it.
Do
Wait,
it, please.
I don't care." But yeah,
That looks
so
fantastic with the silver, by the way.
It was, and thank God I had the foresight to bring a silver Sharpie with me.
Oh yeah.
So one of these days I dig out the Kiss Alive 3. He signed that one as well, the jacket and the CD. So that's my pick. Again, huge radio hit for Kiss, Beth, and Detroit Rock City. You can't think of Kiss Destroyer without thinking Detroit Rock City or Beth. Huge. So that's a great ballad. I love that
It's
song.
interesting when you said, "Do you have any music to contribute?" and he said Beck. I'm like, did this become Beth? Is what I thought.
Yes.
And apparently I was right.
Certainly did. So that's my pick for the ballad to start off with. And it is now there's 2 different labels on this. There's a blue one, and then there's what they call the Casbah label, right?
Nice.
Which is the little oasis in the desert there. But the blue label had Detroit Rock City as the A side and Beth is the B side.
Ah,
Interesting.
Yes, and I have one somewhere in my box, but I couldn't find it at the time. But yes, so the blue label, if you see Kiss, it's a blue label with a guy in a bolo hat having a cigarette. That's the first printing Kiss record. Get it and let me know. I'll probably buy it from you.
Nice. Note to self.
Yeah.
Keep it between us.
And I have lots of Kiss singles for trade as well, guys, if people are up for trading them. I got a bunch. I probably have a whole box full now. Because I used to go and when these were like $1, quarter a piece, I just buy up the whole section of a record store. I went on this huge 45 thing for a couple of years. I was just like, "Where's your 45s, good sir?" And they're like, "Upstairs, no one sees them." I'm like, "I'll take them all." And,
awesome. Why not?
Hey, but you never know what you're going to end up with.
I did. Right. I got all these log boxes. I'd smuggle them home, right? Like, throw them in the car and bring them back. And my wife's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Yeah, good times.
Nice. Nice. Well,
that's my pick, my man. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well, I guess it's me now. This one, I do have to admit, I did have to Google top ballad songs, and this one came up as number 1 of all time ballads. So I had to choose this one because it's number 1. Why not? And it came out in June of 1981 and was originally just made as a score. It is from a movie. And it is a duet now. It turned into originally was just going to be instrumental, and then they asked him to put some words on it, and then they're like, "Well, why don't you find out somebody else to sing with?" and make it a duet. And then it came out to what we have today, and which is, let me turn this around, and it was like number one in the pop chart or top of the charts, like all right. I think it's like 9 months, 7 months, or something like that. Overall, it was like all the other ones. Anyways, it was huge. And let me get this turned around. It is.
I was at the top of the charts once too.
I always think I am. It is Endless Love by Diana Ross and Lionel Richie.
Oh.
It is on the Motown album, the Motown Records. Oops, here we go.
Oh, let's go.
Second label Motown.
Here.
The early Motowns are actually, when they were still part of Tamla, were white. And used to say Motown Tamla, and it was white and black. And then when it was just Motown, it was the blue ones.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm a big Motown fan. Dude, great choice.
This one is the vocals on this side, and the other side is the instrumental.
Oh, I remember when they used to do that.
Yeah, that is a beauty of a pick. Because I was thinking, I'm like, all right, what in the world song is he talking about? And I'm thinking,
yeah,
now we know.
It's been covered a few times. It's been covered by some country stars, pop stars, and so it's
just a few times. It's been covered.
I still like the original much better. And on the day, it was can't read the sticker, but it says photo sound $1.69.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Best $2 you could ever spend in 1981, my man.
Right?
Oh, absolutely.
So, that is my number one pick for today or this month. And let's see here. I'll get a little bit more facts here. Here we go. While Endless Love was a success in the box office, it became second biggest selling single of the year behind Betty Davis Eyes by Kim Carnes. And
still a cool song. Betty Davis Eyes is a dope song.
That's a
song.
And it stayed number one for 9 weeks. It also topped the Billboard charts R&B and adult contemporary. So it hit the charts hard and stayed there for a very long time. It was a big, huge song back in the early 80s and still is a very awesome song. But that is my choice for this week of ballads.
Yeah.
Really is kind of hard because there's so many different ballads to think of. And I did have to cheat all with Google.
I just randomly thought of, like, one time it just came to me. I was like, ooh, yes, I have this covered. And I think I have next week's covered too. After that, I'm kind of screwed. But right now, I'm good. Ride the wave.
Yeah.
That's right. Do it. So that's it. What about rando grabs? What do you guys have for randos?
Well, the last time someone randomly grabbed me, the cops are involved, and you got a certain talking to. Now I didn't mind it.
I told you I was not feeling well that day.
A simple steak dinner goes a long way.
Well, hey. No, I'm taking the Tim approach. I got the box of 45s right here next to me, so I'm just going to blindly reach in. Oh, yeah, and it's going to be a mix of old stuff, weird stuff, picture discs. And
I'm down. I'm all in. Riding the wave.
Let's go. This is a good one. We're going Colombia. We're going here. Who remembers Buckner and Garcia? Because Pac-Man Fever, baby.
Yes. Speaking of 1981, yes, let's go.
That's
well
awesome.
Done.
To keep up on the back is the instrumental.
Perfect.
Freaking Pac-Man Fever.
If you ever find another one, you know a guy, Zach, that could trade you another 45 of equal or lesser value, sir. You know what? I actually, on that line, I was actually at one of those big giant yard sales, the ones you guys have out in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
It was either that or the McDonald's record. And I had to go with the McDonald's record.
Ooh.
I know it was tough. Buddy wanted $15 per. So I was like, yeah, I'd taken a flyer, but I ended
I
up getting
think
the
I probably would
McDonald's
have gone the
record.
McDonald's record too.
Oh, couldn't help myself. The whole nugget discussion earlier, sir.
Very nice.
Stay tuned for that one. But yeah, I grabbed that one like, oh, let's go. Buckner and
I love
Garcia.
it.
We're going.
I love it.
So thank you, random box of 45s.
Awesome.
Yes, that is awesome. I love it, man. That's great.
All right. Well, Maiden, you up next?
Okay, great.
There you go. I
Thank
just
you,
been
sir.
like a couple seconds, so I couldn't remember who was second.
That's okay. I just I'm trying to reach over here because I have my Coca-Cola and some other stuff on the go. I chose another rando in my 45 bin. I'll show you the sleeve first because it's pretty. This is a pretty cool record, man. I'm pretty sure most of our viewers have not seen this, and they are pretty hard to find nowadays. It's the Hard Luck Woman 45 Japanese printing with the lyrics on the back in both English and Japanese.
Nice.
Wow.
And this is on the Victor Casablanca. And you can see here it's got the Japanese were always great for having the curved inner sleeves.
Oh, nice.
So they're easier to get into the jackets. But I want you to take notice of they were, especially when it came to sound quality. This is a Victor printing. And you'll notice here the label of this Casablanca is the camels. So this is the third era of Casablanca's labels. So the one with the Beth was the second. The blue one I described was the first. And this is the second here. If this wants to focus. This is not a very good camera for up close. This is more of a back camera. But it was backed with Mr. Speed. And I love Kiss Rock and Roll Over. So the details of this, I'll give you a couple of details. But Rock and Roll Over is probably my favorite Kiss record of all time. I have like 12 or 13 different printings of that, including some 45s. And then it also had this, which is a kind of a neat, this was the original that came with it, the Victor World Group.
Oh, nice.
So as you can tell, Victor was distributing in Japan for all these other labels like Dot, which is a famous jazz label over here. Then you get Nipper and Chipper, Motown, Atco, Elektra, and some others. I love these old logos, and I love this. I assume that might be Benny Goodman right there, but I'm not positive. So the details of this. Hard Luck Woman came out in 76 in November, and it was backed with Mr. Speed. It was the second single from Rock and Roll Over. This was also sung by Peter Criss. This is also another love song. It was an attempt to follow up with Beth. And actually, sequentially in the singles, Beth would have been here, followed by this one. So it's random that I was able to get in two different sections of my record bin, two albums that consecutively would flow together, which is kind of a neat one. But it was a love song. I love Hard Luck Woman. I love that song. It's sort of more folk country versus, heavy metal and but it was also recorded and printed in the Alive 2 album as an acoustic. So that was in 77. So Alive 2 came out in 77. It was also done on MTV Unplugged when they got back together, but it does not appear on the record. It's only available on the DVD, and Paul Stanley's on vocal and not Peter Criss. Because they brought Peter Criss in last minute. He wasn't really sort of suited to, sing the whole thing through. So Paul did it. And I'll show you, this is unplugged. And you can't really tell from here because the camera sucks. But Hard Luck Woman isn't on here.
Huh.
How weird.
So, and here's the reunion, including all of the from MTV Unplugged. So there's Eric Singer and Peter Criss and Gene and Ace Frehley, Paul, and Tommy Thayer. Or sorry, Bruce Kulick right there. Yeah. And Kulick went on to play in Grand Funk Railroad. So it's not like Bruce Kulick ever, stopped eating after he left Kiss. he did all right.
Right. Exactly. You're okay.
Exactly. So that's the odd one with the Hard Luck Woman, is it was played and shown on MTV but never released on the vinyl or on cassette or anything. So nice. I don't know. I thought you might want to see that.
That's really cool. Interesting.
Yeah. And again, if you have a chance to get Japanese singles, get them because they sound better. They were just better printed. They were thicker. This is very thick compared to the other one. The other one, I could flop it the other one's autographed, so it really doesn't matter. I'm not going to put it on the table and here going over Eric's autograph, but that's floppy. This isn't. So
this, viewers, this is the information you didn't know you needed until right now.
Yeah, that's napkin knowledge from Maiden.
I am telling you. I love learning new stuff. Love it. That whole thing about Hard Luck Woman, that is fascinating to me.
And here's the back of the.
That's just cool.
For the Japanese fan club. Awesome. There's the lyrics in Japanese, I guess. I don't know what the proper name is for it. And then the English translation. So if you have a chance to get any Japanese 45s, get them.
Oh, absolutely. Now I'm going to be looking for them.
Right.
Because they're worth it. They're worth getting.
Awesome.
Yes. So thank you again for the opportunity to show something cool that I didn't even remember I had this. I thought I sold this.
See, that's the best part about the random picks is you get to show off the cool stuff.
Exactly. Definitely. So there's the cover again with
cool.
Gene breathing fire and Paul doing his thing. Loving the crowd. Like, look at that, man. That's Kiss at its finest, man. There.
That is really cool.
Nice. Yeah. Huge Kiss fan.
Right. Very nice. All right. Well, it's my turn, and with the Rando Grabo, and go over here and
to the box we go.
To the box. There it is.
If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm putting out lavender.
It's another 45. Imagine that. And let's turn this around.
45 edition, boys.
45 today.
Let's go.
We got Oh Brother, Where Art
Thou? Oh, let's go. Nice, dude. Nice.
This is one of my favorite soundtracks because it is just so good.
It's
all the songs.
Great soundtrack.
Good. I can listen to this all the time. This is so good. And it's got the two songs on here. I Am a Man of Constant Sorrow and Didn't Leave Nobody But the Baby.
Oh, those are two good ones.
Is that the one where I believe they're sitting in the river? There's a siren song. Is that the women singing it while they're in the river?
Yeah, exactly. When I can't remember his name. He's walking toward the river and then
he get like baptized or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. The Man of Constant Sorrow, one of my favorite from this one, is really, really good. And
you are the
winner,
winner.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know about that. This one's not autographed.
Doesn't matter. Well,
and here's.
Oh, now I kind of want to look for that.
Is that a promo? It's a white label. Generally, don't. If it was a white label, they were always promos.
It might be a look on promotional. Let me see. I'll look a little bit closer. Well, there's the other side.
Hard to see. We got to get better cameras if we're going to do close-ups. But
right there we go. It finally focused.
I don't know, but
I don't see promo anywhere.
In 1989, that was sort of the phase out of vinyl too. Certainly when that's really started, CDs took over. That's probably a tricky one to find. That's a good pickup, dude.
Yeah. I can't remember even seeing something like that before.
I remember
seeing the here it is down there.
Oh, there,
More
Promotional.
promotional.
there
Not
we go.
for resale. There it is.
Does Maiden not take care of his buddies or what?
Good
Nailed it.
eye, Maiden. Good eye.
But yeah,
There you go.
my cousin
Love
and I
it.
went through this phase where that was the only thing playing in my vehicle and the only thing playing in his was this soundtrack.
It's so
Over
good.
and
It is
over
so
and
good.
over, man. You know the back
Oh.
roads in New Brunswick we've driven to listen to that song? Oh, God dang.
The movie too. The movie is awesome. Movie.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing, kiddos. If you see a 45 and it's a white label where normally it would be a colored one, check. It's probably a promo or a radio only or advanced copy.
Oh,
Usually will
right.
stay.
see,
Well, there we go.
the more you know.
That's right. That's not too bad. It's a good,
Well,
good find.
No, I went on this tear, like I said, dudes. I was looking for it because I was running out of space for my big records. So I was like, ooh, I still like records. So I need to find something smaller. Hence, sort of the transition to getting more cassettes as well. Because it's easier to store. But
Right.
because I listen to my stuff, right? Like I don't just sit there and like have it, look at it. I actually enjoy it and listen to it and, you know, such. But yeah, I never found that. I've always wanted one, but I never was able to find one. But I did find some really cool singles in the, you know, spelunking through the attics of record shops or the basement of old department stores, flea markets, sidewalk sales, you know, that kind of stuff.
You know, another good gem if you ever find any estate sales. Estate sales and or sheriff sales. Those are you can find some interesting things there.
And-
Oh, nice. I wouldn't even thought
Well,
of
I
share.
remember there's a printing, I believe, of the Blue Ridge Rangers, which was John Fogerty's solo band after CCR. And there's some pretty rare 45s that were on there that I remember years ago, a record owner who'd now passed away said, you know, you think you're a record collector? Wait till you find Center Field from John Fogerty, but not Fogerty, but it says the Blue Ridge Rangers. All right, whatever. You know, I'm just a kid. So one day I'm in this church estate sale, parking lot sale, or whatever. I'm like, oh, yeah, I found it. So I went and I actually contacted the guy's son. I said, your dad's not here anymore, but he told me to go look for this. And I finally found one. It's 15 years later.
Nice.
And it came full circle.
Yeah, so it does. It really does.
Right on.
That's what's cool about music, man. Doesn't matter,
Indeed.
like, you know, what language you speak or anything. Just
Yeah. Beat's a beat.
Music.
And it depends on how it
Yep.
moves you, right?
That's it.
But that was awesome. Great picks for this
does.
start off this month. This month of love.
the love month.
The love month.
Remember,
The love month.
you gave me an opportunity. You gave me an opportunity here, and I didn't take it.
Uh-oh.
Gonna let you
What was
know
that?
I was gonna no. You almost baited me into it again. No. Have to tune in to another time for that.
That's right. We got to see what we pick next week.
No
So
glove, no
tune
love.
in. That's right. That's right. Keep them sleeved. Anyways, thank you everybody for joining us. On
You have
another-
to. That's how you avoid getting ruined. You got to sleeve your willies, man.
That's right.
There it is.
You
All
do.
right, Joe. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Adios.